Hello again, it's Mike with the Claim Squad Public Adjusters. Today we're going to rate 25 of the largest home insurance companies in Florida. This is based on only claims. I will give a brief sentence after my grade, or a brief phrase, just kind of highlighting why I graded them a certain way. This is based on my experience over the years of dealing with them with claims, how they handle claims, responsiveness, customer service, so on and so forth. But I'm going to divide it up and let you guys know for each company why I gave them the grade. All right, let's get right into it. All I did was simply pull it up on my computer, and I'll go one by one by one down the road, rate and reviewing each one. Okay, so I'm looking at this list right now, and we're not too good in the top 10. There's not going to be a lot of good grades here. So let's start with number 1. Universal Property and Casualty. F. Why? Sometimes they don't even give a coverage decision within 90 days, which is Florida state law. They purposely delay claims. They force you into lawsuits. During the lawsuits, they have their attorneys drag it out, etc., etc., etc. Now, there's one good thing about Universal. They rarely have any limitations on their policy. So their policy itself is actually one of the better ones in Florida for coverages. But the way they handle claims is an absolute disaster. Horrible. Horrible. Let's go on to number 2. Oh boy. Doesn't get much better, folks. Number 2, the absolute worst insurance company in Florida, hands down, no questions asked, Citizens. The state-run insurance company. It should be considered a state-run criminal organization. What they do to people is basically criminal. The way they handle claims is an embarrassment. What they do to people is a travesty. If you have Citizens, I understand why. Some people have no other options but to get Citizens, because maybe you got dropped by your home insurance company before. Maybe you're in a certain zip code and nobody will insure you. But my gosh, I want to insure my dog's house in the backyard with Citizens. Why is Citizens so bad? There's just too many reasons I can't even explain. The only good thing, when you file a claim, they come out right away. And I think that's only because, so this way they can not deny it right away. They will pay some smaller claims, a couple $1,000s. But they have water limitations. They come and inspect your roof. They will say that you have no openings in your roof, and you could have every ceiling in your house with water stains, and they'll say there's no holes in your roof, no openings in your roof, and deny your roof claim. It goes on and on and on. Citizens, F minus. All right, I'm gonna make this a little bit faster. Security First, D. A lot of reasons why they're D. Sometimes they're slow with inspections of the property. They don't pay out claims right away, and their customer service isn't the best. FedNat, B. So we finally got our first good grade. I'm giving FedNat a B because of the simple fact they have good claim service. They do pay claims. They will fight some claims, but they do pay them. And I find them to be one of the better insurance companies on this list. So that's FedNat, also known as Federated National Insurance Company. I believe they're in Fort Myers. Or maybe they're Sunrise. But anyhow, they're within South Florida. Okay, number 5, Heritage. Heritage, I will give a C minus. C or C minus. Their claims handling is based on the adjuster. I've had a couple okay ones, and a couple of them where the adjuster's horrible. I've had them a couple where they paid a little bit, a couple where they paid nothing, and we've had to sue their butts off. So it's kind of a mixed bag. They are somewhat responsive with their customer service, but if I think it's probably a good place to see, because they're not as good as FedNat, definitely not as good, but they're not as bad as Universal and Citizens. So let's take a look at number 6, American Integrity. American Integrity, I'm going to give a D. They tend to deny roof and water claims. They bring out these experts to go on your roof, inspect the water damage claim, and they usually deny it. You have to file a lawsuit against them. They really don't pay many claims. Their claim handler and claim adjusters are pretty responsive, but they delay paying claims. All right, let's look at the next one. UPC. They are also a D, and they're pretty much on the same parallel as American Integrity. Whereas they don't pay claims, they will deny claims. They're also ones that bring in experts, roof, mostly for the roof, not really water damage claims. Water damage claims, they simply say the leak's been there for a long time. We don't cover repeated or constant leaks, that type of crap. St. John's insurance companies, they tend to insure a little bit higher price homes. They're a mixed bag. They're probably C minus. I have one claim with St. John's where they're putting these people through hell in a lawsuit, dragging it out, and it's from Hurricane Irma, and it's just a dang shame. They denied their roof claim. A couple other claims they have paid, but they've been moderate. So I have mixed bag opinion on St. John's. Let's go number 9, Homeowners Choice. I'm going to categorize them with FedNat and give them a B. Homeowners Choice is pretty responsive. Their customer service is pretty good. They do pay claims. There are some claims that they fight, but overall it's a rather good experience with Homeowners Choice. Okay, let's go to 10 on the list, Tower Hill. Tower Hill is a C. There's some claims we have to fight on, some claims they pay. It's a mixed bag usually. Again, their customer service and the claims adjuster responsiveness varies depending on the individual. 11, People's Trust. Oh boy. People's Trust is an F. If I had to list the 3 worst by right now, without a doubt, Citizens, People's Trust, Universal, in that order. People's Trust is horrible. People's Trust, like Citizens, they want you to use their contractors. People get a nice, beautiful, cheap policy for People's Trust. They have a claim, and then People's Trust says, wait, you have our contractor endorsement. We can fix your problem. Boy, if only you knew what happens when they have their contractors fix your property damage. You don't want to know. You don't want to know the issues. People's Trust, F. Okay, ASI Preferred, aka Progressive. Progressive is probably C plus, B minus. I'm going to say B minus. B minus. They do pay claims. They are responsive. I've had to file a couple lawsuits against them. We've had a couple of appraisal situations. They want to settle claims. The one thing I've noticed about Progressive, they write very low estimates, like all these companies do for the most part. But they tend to do it in kind of a sneaky fashion, where they do it with smaller claims. Bigger claims, they're somewhat credible, but they're still off by thousands and thousands and thousands. So customer service is good. Adjusters are usually pretty responsive. I've gotten in some fights with their adjusters, like every adjuster pretty much on here. Although Homeowners Choice and FedNat, I haven't really gotten into a fight with. And when I mean fight, I mean putting in an email saying basically in a roundabout way, what the heck are you guys looking at that you can write a $2,000 estimate when there's $50,000 of damage? Or you'll talk about, we don't know if there's coverage. I'm like, you better learn how to be a claim adjuster, because this is the easiest coverage decision you can make. Things like that, where I respond back, but I'm also doing it for a reason, because I want to slap a bad faith lawsuit on these people, on these companies. All right, let's go to the other company, USAA. I haven't seen any policies, so I think if they do write policies, it's only homeowners. What do you mean only homeowners? Meaning They don't do anything with hurricane if they write. I thought they left. Maybe they're back in. So I'm not going to write them. So Florida Penn and Edison, this one's number 14, just has Florida Penn. Florida Penn and Edison are together. I'm going to give them a solid B- as well. I just had a claim where they paid out $24,000. I didn't even submit our estimate. And that was a pretty good competitive estimate. So, but I have others where we're still waiting to see if we can get the case settled. And it's been a while. With that being said, I'm going to give them a B-. By the way, now that I'm doing this video, I got to call them on something and I need to make a note. I haven't heard from the adjuster in a while, and so I need to call them on that. All right, First Protective Insurance Company. Thankfully, I haven't had a lot of claims with them recently, and all this is based on recent, not historic, because things have changed over the last 2 years. I want to keep it recent, not to what they did before. You know what's surprising, not on this list? State Farm. So let's cover State Farm next. First Protective, I'm going to give them a C. Let's go State Farm. I dropped my thing. Let's see. State Farm, I am going to give them a C. Yes, a C. They do pay claims to a certain amount. So if you have a $30,000, $40,000 claim, they'll pay $14,000. And people then end up realizing that it's not enough. And then what they do, if you try to go back for more, they put you through the section of the policy called policy conditions. Before we pay any more, we've got to take your examination under oath, which is like a deposition, all right? They're going to request all these records. So it's basically like a lawsuit. So basically what State Farm does is this. They'll pay you a little bit of money, but if you try to go back to more, they're going to put you through the ringers and make you wait 6 to 9 months, and there's nothing you can do on that. Nothing an attorney can do. They can send, and we can send, and we have done what's called a CRN, which sets them up for a bad faith lawsuit. So that's what I hate about State Farm, the way they just, and they're the only company that does it like that. So let's look at Castle Key, aka Allstate. I'm gonna give them a solid B. Customer service is good, claim situation is good. They do pay claims. I have a really big water damage claim right now going with them. So let's see. A couple of the other ones I've had have been relatively small. When I say small, under 50,000. Over 15, under 50. And they're not doing any type of hurricane/roof claims or coverage. So they're only writing for the home, nothing for the roof, hurricane, etc. Florida Family, I've only had a couple small claims with them recently. A C, they're okay. American Bankers, haven't had many. Tower Hill, I thought there was a Tower Hill up here. Oh yeah, alright. I've already Tower Hill. Olympus, C. Some of these other, Safe Point. Safe Point is about C-. I've had to file a couple lawsuits against them. And that pretty much sums it up. Let me think if there's any other companies off the top of my head that I can't think of that may be on here. Security First is horrible, as I mentioned. Let's see. Chubb writes in Florida, but nothing with hurricanes, so mostly like apartment buildings. Lloyd's of London is a B. They're writing more so in like the condominium, townhome type and apartment buildings and condo associations, but they do pay some claims out and they're not bad. We just recently, today, one of my clients called me. We filed a bad faith lawsuit against them. she was communicating with the attorney. I talked to the attorney a couple weeks ago. He said he was going to try to file or try to settle the bad faith claim lawsuit, which we filed a couple months ago. And we did. So it was a smaller claim in the 20s was a initial settlement, because the way Lloyd's, not Lloyd's directly, but the claim management company who was handling the claim, the way they handled the claim, we filed a bad faith lawsuit based on a CRN, civil remedies notice, that we filed and sent to the state, which then goes to the insurance company. So we got an extra 15 grand out of that. So bad faith lawsuits do pay. If you have a claim only in the 20s and you get $15,000 more, that's about a 70% return on your lawsuit funds, which is pretty damn good. And insurance companies, that's what happens when you guys screw up. I go after you guys, and I'm the one that will file a bad faith lawsuit. Don't worry about that. I'll have my attorneys. So that's it. Quick review. I guess it wasn't quick. Review of the bigger insurance companies in Florida, how I rate them, why I rate them, and my review of them. Hope you enjoy this. This is Mike with the Claim Squad Public Adjusters. Thank you.